viewpoints and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date, May 2nd. It's a whole new month, May 2nd, 2025, in the run-up to Scarefest 17. Yes, we're well on the way. And of course, tonight, being the first Friday of the month of May, is our council episode. So right now, I have Adrian. Adrian will be joining me. Brandon will be jumping in at some point because he just loves messing up my production of the show as we go. Now, that being said, Joe Lewis will be reviewing 825 Forest Road. Yes, he's in the real estate business now. He's give up movie reviews. No, that's apparently a movie on Shudder. That's all I know about it. I had not heard of it until tonight. We have 4 more celebrity names to drop, and just a couple of things we're going to talk about tonight. Adrian, how's Tricks?
Oh man, we are moving right along with our planning. You know, not just planning one event now because we love this so much. Working on planning for Spawn, and I have a page and a half of stuff we can talk about.
Now, I'm just going to say it. If Scarefest suffers because you're putting your nose up Spawn's ass.
So when we first were working on it, yes, I was having a hard time focusing on Scarefest because I was really excited. But one of the things that I have done since then to countermeasure that is I have invested in time management, and I have specific days and time blocks that I work on other projects like Rewind Time. I work on Wednesdays. Spawn has its own days, so had to get a little bit more serious now that we're spinning more plates, but I understand your concern.
Yeah, because I'm treading water over here as it is. Okay, one thing I did want to get into tonight, you posted you posted a banner and then a little teaser video about our new attraction at Scarefest. Oh, Brandon just showed up. Hi, Brandon.
Awesome. Hi.
Hello, guys.
So just so everybody sees, I see he was coming. I was not lying.
He was here. He was backstage.
Let's head to smoke. Anyway, I want to tell people one thing. I want to spend some time on tonight is telling people about the laser tag, zombie laser thing or whatever you want to call it, and then the escape room.
Yes. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff that we can talk about. I know that we haven't been as active on the page and everything. It's that time of year. There's not a ton of stuff that the ink is dry on that we can really talk about. We've still got some pretty linchpin aspects of our lineup that aren't sorted yet. So there are things like groups we can't announce. There's a lot of stuff still in the planning phase, but some of the cool stuff we can talk about. You covered the Warren's Museum last week with Chris and Dan. Survive the Night we've been able to talk about a little bit, and I definitely want to dive into that tonight. And let's see. So here's just some things for the people that are. I see we got quite a few people on tonight. So for those of you who may be here for your first time, this is kind of our deep dive into the planning behind Scarefest. now Spawn of Scarefest also, and some sneak peek stuff, but mostly it's just kind of what's happening behind the scenes, and we think it's pretty fun. So yeah, I want to talk about some announcement stuff. I want to talk about Scarefest Inc. tonight. I want to talk about some of the special and after hours events. Talk a little bit about Spawn. So yeah, let's talk about, let's skip down here to special events. Wes brought up Survive the Night, the adventure game. Night. Yep. They're going to be bringing 2 attractions to Scarefest this year. And this is something that people have been asking for, I feel like a lot over the last couple of years. So Survive the Night it's not laser tag. It kind of is. They do use like some of the laser tag equipment, the guns, and they use some screens and some special effects, but you've got actual live haunt actors coming after you, and you have to kind of stave off the zombie attack in Survive the Night in Dead Alley. And then Silence is their escape room, and it is, if you played the video game or have watched the series The Last of Us, it's got some elements from The Last of Us, and you have to be quiet. You cannot make any noise because there are also live monsters in the room, so you don't just like lose, they'll eat you. It's a lot of fun. And one of the things I'm really excited to kind of talk about, nothing is set in stone yet, but one of the really cool things about these attractions is we can set them up in a way where we can have some of our guests join in, and kind of how we've done like battle axes and bowling in the past. So like,
you're breaking up again.
I want to know, like, what about now?
Now you're okay.
Okay. I would like to know who people might like to do some of this stuff with. Like, who would you like to do an escape room with? And we might see if we can get them to host one.
Okay, wait. Oh, no, okay.
Go ahead, Brian.
You
know what this reminds me of? So, like, if you were... when it was the old convention center, it had a mini mall attached to it.
Yeah.
And so it had Yesterdays, which was like a little bar, billiard room. And then it had like all these stores and stuff. And it was just like a little mall. And the first year that we took it over, like I was dying to have like some sort of Dawn of the Dead-esque, like survive the zombie apocalypse thing, like through the mall. And we couldn't do it because of insurance and several other factors that made me cry. And this is the second best thing to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like telling that story because it would have been awesome if we'd have pulled it off.
See, I keep wanting, who would I like to be locked in a room with? And honestly, one of the announcements tonight is probably my first choice. So I can't give it away yet.
Yep. Don't give it away.
But I do have, everybody, I do have a trick for winning. I do have a trick for winning the Dead Alley. The laser thing. Conserve ammunition, stab them in the head.
There you go. I mean, yeah, you don't have to reload a melee weapon.
I learned that on TV.
Double tap. Yep. Yeah, so Wes is going to be hosting a How to Survive the Zombie Apocalypse Q&A session at Scarefest. I'm adding
Which is my favorite Q&A session, by the way, of all time.
Yeah, I'm adding that.
It was surprisingly popular.
Yeah, no, I sit alone at night and I think about how I'll survive the zombie apocalypse. I've got it all worked out.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to Eastern Kentucky. I'm taking the Herschel method. I'm going to the family farm.
Yep.
Building a fence.
Zombies.
I've got it all worked out.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, and I can say this because people don't know where my dad lives, but I have a bug out bag, and if you're laughing at home, you shouldn't. You should get a bug out bag. I have a bug out bag, and because you can't rely on technology, I've got actual paper maps so I can route the back ways. I mean, I know how to get there, but in case something comes up and I can't go that way, and I'm getting to my dad's house because it's on top of a giant hill, and yeah, zombies really. I have a hard time walking uphill, you know, and zombies got to be less.
Yeah, I'm in probably the safest place I could find. We have food. We have a 2-story building, so I can not only fight them up the hill, I can go upstairs and fight them in the little narrow hallway. I have lots of ammunition. I probably should stock up on more peanut butter.
Yeah, I definitely.
That reminds me of the old story. I always that Preppers, Doomsday Preppers TV show.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go on there, and when they got to the part, what are you going to do about food? And I wanted to say, kill my neighbors. Just take them, door to door. Show them, I'm going to raid everyone else's house.
Work smarter, not harder.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to revert to cannibalism there for a second. I wasn't sure which way you were going with that.
Plan B.
Yeah,
not off the table. It's like a billboard that PETA has up where it says, "Where do you draw the line?" and has horses and cows and rabbits and somebody said, "Well, actually, right now, right here, but economic downfall, move it back a notch. Zombie apocalypse, way over here, right next to
absolutely.
Ted."
Yeah, I was telling somebody, like, I would 100% eat a person before I would eat my dog. Like, I love my dog. I don't really care about people too much.
Right. Oh, I probably wouldn't.
If you are what you eat, if you are what you eat, I taste like coffee and chicken.
Oh, geez. Okay, let's not get too far off topic here. Now, I respect a good bug out plan, just to but we only have an hour. And we have a lot of Scarefest related things we could talk about.
Okay, let's talk about something Scarefest related.
Okay, awesome. So we talked about Silence, and we talked about Dead Alley. So some of the other things that we can talk about, I know that not a huge part of our fan base is the paranormal diehards. I know that. But I know that we do have some out there. So one of the things that we're actively working on is a gallery reading. We haven't had a gallery reading for a couple of years at Scarefest. So we're working on one of those for sure, but we've had an offer for a second one that we're really considering. So gallery reading. I guess we can talk a little bit about Talk Scary to Me Live now that we have announced Danielle and Scout. I talked to Danielle extensively this week, and I'm so jealous because I'm not going to be able to go to Talk Scary to Me Live. I'm going to try to pop in though, and I can't say too much right now, but there's some things that they are talking about doing at Talk Scary to Me Live that I just cannot wait to tell you all about. Danielle and Scout, if you've been following their work, they have a film coming up that they not only wrote and not only starred in, but they also directed it as well. And some of the cast are also going to be at Scarefest. We've already announced them. So there's some really cool things that I'm looking forward to, with that. And Talk Scary to Me Live is going to be awesome this year. You definitely don't want to miss that. If you are a Danielle Harris or Scout Taylor Compton fan, or really just, man, this film, I'm so excited about it. And I can't tell you the last time I was so excited to see a movie. I cannot wait until it comes out. So, yep, we've got Talk Scary to Me Live, gallery readings. We are looking at, of course, our costume contest this year, Wicked Beard Creations. Even though Jeff won't be with us in the flesh this year, we're going to have a great costume contest. His son is working really hard on that. Ryan, Matt, Allison, really want to say a huge shout out to those folks. The costume contest is going to be great. And, shot at a big cash prize. So can't really go wrong with that. And we're going to have it in a bigger room this year. So if you were there last year and, the line was around the room and out the door, we're going to a bigger room this year. So we'll have more space, more costumes, longer pre-registration, and some pretty cool guest judges lined up. Not ready to announce them yet, but we will soon. And then let's see.
Let's take a quick message from Roomborg. You get your shit together while we're off the air. Roomborg. Yes.
Are you a fan of horror movies, books, comics, music, and collectibles? Roomorg magazine is for you. Subscribe today to receive 6 or 12 print issues annually and join me, executive editor Andrea Subisati, on an ongoing journey through the horror genre of the past, present, and future. Plus, get access to unmissable special editions such as A Century of Witches, 50 Years of Gore Cinema, British horror movies, and so much more. Rue Morgue, the world's premier horror and culture and entertainment magazine since 1997. Accept no substitute.
And we're back with Scarefest TV, and Adrian is filling us in on the stuff that she's allegedly working on.
Allegedly.
I've seen it.
Okay. Oh, so the next thing that I want to talk about that I am super stoked about. Downstairs. Some of you may remember last year we were a little crowded. Not too bad. Just a little bit. So we have taken heed and we have rented the entire building, top to bottom, not Rep Arena, that doesn't count. We don't need 25,000 chairs, as Wes says. But in doing so,
it would shut me up, wouldn't it? Go ahead.
We got the ballrooms downstairs, and in the very first ballroom downstairs, we are going to expand our vendor floor, and we have given Scarefest Inc. a brand new home. So in doing that, we have doubled the footprint of Scarefest Inc. Doubled it. We are going to have over 20 booths with tattoo artists this year. All of the shops that were there last year, several of them are bringing more artists with them to keep up with the demand, because apparently you all are lunatics and you just can't get enough of the tattoos. The other thing that we are doing different this year is we've expanded the tattoo contest. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was very clear about that. I have experience with the horror convention. I have no experience with tattoo conventions. So we brought in some people that do have experience, and a huge shout out to Kira and George from To the Grave Tattoo here in Lexington. They have really helped a lot on getting the Scarefest Inc. put together this year, and we're going to have 15 contest categories, and only a couple of those categories every day are the tattoos at the show. Saturday, huge day, you can enter healed pieces. There's a bunch of different categories and places that you can win trophies. So if you've got some cool ink, enter into the contest and win some badass trophies. It's going to be a great time. This is
the year I finally get a neck tattoo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been on my list of things to do for the last 5 years.
I'm going to get me one of those team sleeves.
Team sleeve.
And maybe one of the coolest things, arguably one of the coolest things about having Scarefest Inc. on the first floor, and vendors, like I said, there's going to be over 40 booths in Ballroom 1. It's about 50-50. We're going to have vendors in there. We're going to have tattoo artists in there. And that room is going to open before the upstairs does. So while everybody's queuing up to go in line and everything, we've talked about that in past videos, we're going to be queuing downstairs. You can go ahead and go in and check out vendors. The show opens. General admission, VIP, doesn't matter. You can check and open past the time that the upstairs room is open. That way, people that are getting tattoos, last year, we were just trying to keep the lights on while people were getting their tattoos finished up. So we won't run into that issue with the convention center this year. Scarefest Inc. is going to be awesome. So definitely check that out if you're wanting to get a tattoo.
Okay. Now, I do want to clarify one thing, though.
Yes.
If we let people go into that, they need to understand that when it comes time to actually let people up onto the main floor, they will still have to get in our main line.
Yeah, they're going to have to get in line.
I'm just saying that could create a bottleneck at the bottom of the escalator. I just want everyone to be prepared. Might need to throw an extra security man down there.
Yeah, if you're in the if you're in the downstairs vendor hall and you come out and the line is moving to go upstairs, you're going to have to wait until the line gets upstairs and get into it. And then also, we haven't talked very much about this yet because it wasn't like set in stone, but it's going to be unavoidable. The cafeteria, as we all have come to know it, that is underneath the escalator on the second floor, we have very much outgrown that cafeteria, and we are going to have to utilize Club C, which is the bigger cafeteria. It's much, much bigger, actually, at the end of the second floor hallway. And we're going to have a map posted. There's going to be signage. You're going to know how to get there. We'll have food trucks outside. There will be signs pointing to Club C. And hopefully we'll have a couple of food concepts in Club B, but it's not going to be everything. And there's going to be places to sit down. So I know that people want chairs. We're going to have more chairs. That is the silver lining of that. Let's see. I need a Thug Life tattoo. Yes. Yes, definitely enter your badass Michael tattoo. Let's see.
Mike Tyson tattoo? Yes, definitely.
Yes. All right. We got a couple more minutes before we do announcements and take a break. So, all right. Another thing that we have been posting about and trying to get a little info about, we've got photo ops live now. And of course, not all the photo ops, just our solo ops for some of our guests, and not everybody is up there just yet. And we are working on group ops. Those are going to be coming out over the next several months. We're taking suggestions. One of the ops that Brandon is very excited about with the Nightmare on Elm Street. Hopefully we'll be getting some more of those folks announced soon, and we'll be able to talk about some of that. But we're not done by a long shot with our Nightmare on Elm Street. And I know there are some people in here that are like, okay, that's great, but let's get on to some different announcements. I know, but we got a long ways to go. We got some really spectacular announcements still to come. But we are not done with Nightmare on Elm Street. And there's a couple other franchises we're not done with yet. So it's still a process, but if you have suggestions for photo op that you would like to see, please let us know. I have a pinned post in the fans group right now, at the top of the page, taking requests for those. And I have got them in my spreadsheet, so lay it on us. We want to know, what photo ops would you like to have at Scarefest? And Brandon always comes up with some just crazy awesome photo ops that we end up doing.
I'll tell you mine after the first celebrity announcement.
I've got three that I want that have never been done before that I know of.
Yeah. So we're still working on them. But if they come to fruition, we will be having some pretty badass photo ops this year. Let's see.
And of course, Nathan will get them all, and I will be working.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. How many did you get last year, Nathan? Like 19? Let's see. Okay. Booking updates. We kind of talked about that a little bit. Let me tell you all what. You want to stress out. Try booking guests for a show, because it takes you to a new level of stress.
I even have a story about booking celebrities.
Lay it on us.
Happened to me this week.
Yep.
I had a celebrity that I'd already talked to reach out to me and said, "When, am I good? When are you going to send me my contract?" And I said, "I've already sent you your contract." And I actually went back and took a screenshot of the day that I emailed it to him, and he replied to the email saying, "I'll get this right back to you." And then we had a conversation via email on February 12th.
Yeah.
And so I took a screenshot of all that, and I said, "Dude." So I am convinced that the celebrities on the paranormal side, they've all lost their mind. That's just all I can say.
Well, and I know we kind of talk about it a little bit on here. We don't get super like into the process and the ups and downs. And I know I've talked a little bit about, you know, the reason why we don't do announcements until after we at least have the contracts and we've got the schedule commitment is because we don't want you all to experience the same level of disdain and heartbreak that we do. We have literally had guests booked that we are ready to announce. We get the contract, we get ready to announce them, and they cancel before we even announce them. I've had that happen on a very spectacularly grand scale that broke my heart, and I just don't want to pass that on to you all. So with some of the bigger guests, especially the ones that are still working, they don't have their filming schedule a year in advance or 8 months in advance or 6 months in advance. Some of them, we have to wait until 3 or 4 months before the show when they know what continent they're going to be on during October. So, you know, it's not that we love edging you all or anything. I would never do that. I would never do that.
I'm certainly glad Katie dropped that word into our new lexicon for the show. Continue.
So yeah, there's definitely a lot to it. You know, we have to cast out our net, we have to put out our offers, and then we have to wait to hear back on scheduling. And when you're trying to book specific franchises or, you know, or groups of people, it can be pretty tedious when you're, you know, you've got one holdout or you've got two holdouts and everything. So everything's moving right along with that. It's just takes some time. So yeah, that's all I've got in the in that category to talk about, except for some updates on deadlines, which we were discussing right before we came on tonight. Wes is going to let everybody know, I don't know if it'll be tonight, but it'll be soon, about our speaker application deadlines, our volunteer application deadlines. And
yeah, basically, if you're listening right now, go ahead and just get it in your head. Volunteer apps, like the we said July, didn't we?
Yep, July 15th.
Yeah, July 15th. So okay, go ahead if you're thinking about volunteering. Let's go and get your apps in. And then on the speaker applications, this is your last month. We're going to be shutting this down at the end of the month. We're going to shut it down. Try to give you up until the last week. Would you say it comes here, like the 22nd, I think you said?
Yeah, 22nd, 23rd, because we want to have all of those applicants entered by June 1st.
So we do still have room for some speakers, it looks like.
Yes.
But not a lot of room. We could probably pull it out of what we got, but we want to give people the best. So if you're listening or you know somebody who might be interested in speaking, let them know. Let them know they need to get that done. And we're up to celebrity announcement time. Our first announcement. Amanda Weiss from the original Nightmare on Elm Street. And yes, this is my suggestion for a in-costume photo op. I want her in a clear plastic body bag. She's going to throw that out there. So, okay, Amanda Weiss, Scarefest. Now, the single most beautiful woman I've ever met in my entire life. Yes, I would murder my existing wife for like an hour with this woman. This was the one I want to be locked in the escape room with, except I also know she could probably kick my ass. Beatrice Bupley, one of the most lovely, smart, beautiful, intelligent, I have a crush on this woman. I got to put that out there. Beatrice Bupley is coming, and I'm happy about it. Steve Gonzalez is coming to Scarefest, and if he's coming from Ghost Hunters, Dave Tango's coming. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to have Steve on the show, and hopefully, I wish I could get Dave on too, but I'm going to have Steve on the show, and I'm going to me and Katie are going to sit him down, and we're going to talk about Ghost Hunters Academy, which was just atrocious. But he's also Ghost Nation, House Between. He's done a lot of great stuff, but Ghost Hunters Academy was not their brightest moment. I'm just going to say it. Okay, let's go on with the announcements before I get myself in more trouble. The Scarefest Ink Tattoo Expo is ready. We're getting there, people. It's got a new location, like she was saying, first floor, and we have put a link up with entry forms, I guess, for the contest, tattoo contest. So go to scarefestweekend.com. It's in the top menu right now because it has to have a pretty graphic go in the fancy menu. But I did go ahead and stick it in the top menu so you can look that over, think about what you might want to enter and what you might have. And I don't know, was there a tramp stamp category?
You're not getting a tramp stamp.
There's not a tramp stamp category, but I will add one for you.
Should
Oh,
be.
I'm taking the gold.
And, okay, everybody, Scarefest Weekend photo ops are ongoing. They've started going on sale. So go ahead, if you've got some that you know you want and they're already up, go ahead and get them. But be patient. There's a lot more to come, And, of course, one last reminder, we're going to have live action horror games, Dead Alley and Silence. Did they just call it Silence?
Yep.
Huh. I thought it would have had another verb or adjective or something. But anyway, it sounds like a lot of fun. I am really looking forward to Dead Alley. And then, of course, if I can be locked up in a room with Beatrice Bupley. Now, here's one for you. The Best of Lexington. That little voting thing is going on. That is, go to votelexington.com. Go to votelexington.com. Click on Things to Do. Go to Annual Event. And then scroll down to wherever that particular time of day, Scarefest Weekend is, and vote. Make us the most popular thing going on. And then
I think it's under things to do.
Things to do. I just walked through it there. Literally, I voted while live on air. This week's topic, Monster Squad. That's right, Fear the Talking Heads, a little podcast that comes out right after Scarefest TV on the YouTube channel at Fear the Talking Heads. YouTube.com at Fear the Talking Heads. Check them out. Monster Squad. And the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Don't forget about that. Third weekend of every month. This month is May 17th and 18th. 2-day show this time. Saturday 11 to 6. Sunday noon to 5. But it is May 17th and 18th at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market at 1165 Center Parkway, their new location. Go to scarefestweekend.com to find out more. There. That wasn't so bad, was it? I threw you with that Amanda Weiss kind of comment.
Awesome. Okay, let's see here. And Wes actually covered some of the other stuff that I wanted to talk about. Let's see. We've got we have been working on some other stuff, like for social media wise, because, you know, like Scarefest weekend is one weekend out of the year, and now we've got Spawn of Scarefest. The unearthed facts posts that we've been doing, I think those are pretty cool. If there's other things that you all want to see, we're definitely open to ideas. And Fear the Talking Heads, that is super cool. Barb has been doing a great job with that. And if you want to learn a little bit more about the guests that are coming, and one comment that I've seen a couple of times throughout, like since we've been doing our guest announcements, people are saying like, oh, there's nobody I know coming to the show, which I know.
I saw that. I saw somebody say that.
Yeah. On Instagram, and there was someone that was commenting on every single announcement post, and like, who guys, we have people from, I know we're doing a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street right now. There's going to be some fantastic group ops this year for our Nightmare on Elm Street fans. We went super heavy on Scream last year. We went super heavy on Friday 13th the year before. We have done Halloween, and we've got all of that. You know, this year we've got Return of the Living Dead, Monster Squad, Hellraiser, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. We've got Juliette Lewis. I mean, every time I turn my television on, Juliette Lewis is on there. Like, you can't, you know, there's just so many. Insidious, Lynn Shay, like,
the cable doesn't always work in the dude's mom's basement. You gotta understand.
But we have a broader array of folks coming than what is announced. It is a process, like I was saying before the announcements. We've got more people coming. So if there's nobody that's just absolutely, thrilling you yet, just wait. We've got more. So yeah, I had to throw that out there because I don't understand how you can look at the guest lineup. Scott Ennis. I mean, Scooby.
Kelly Brewer, to answer your question in the chat room, the answer is Hugh Jackman. The answer is Hugh Jackman.
What, people you will be locked in a room with for an hour?
No, that was who Anita was allowed to kill me for.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Who she would kill me for.
Let's see.
I have a list.
It was Sean Connery, but
Well, yeah, he kind of took the bucket.
Sure. All right. Let's see. Some of the other stuff we can talk about. If you all have any questions in the chat, post those.
Yeah, I'm watching it really close tonight.
Yeah, we'll cover those too if we've got anything. But we have been moving forward with some stuff for Spawn. Nothing set in stone yet, obviously. It's still more than a year away. But one of the things I'm going to be picking your all's brains about is, since we're doing a hotel show and we don't have any experience doing hotel show, one of the things that we are looking at is food. They don't have a food court like Levy does. They've got their restaurants, they've got the bistro, we've got food trucks, but we're looking at some maybe
bourbon vending machine. Who the hell?
They do have a bourbon vending machine. We don't even need food. I don't know
I still have dreams about that.
Yeah, bring some crackers.
Yeah, exactly. Bourbon.
I tried to price one out. It's expensive.
Oh, bourbon vending machine.
So yeah, I'm kind of looking at that, and I don't know, thinking we might offer some like food packages, or at least breakfast. I don't know. I'm going to be making some posts about that, and I need you all to help me out. I don't eat breakfast very often. Wes eats breakfast when we do shows, but I'm not a huge breakfast person, so I'm going to need to pull the audience a little bit, and I need your all's help on some things. But yeah, mostly it's all boring stuff right now. Spreadsheets and, emails. Ugh, nothing fun. What do you all want to talk about?
I do have a question from the chat room.
Sure.
They're asking about the floor plan, but we're not, as far as the vendor part, we're not that far off on what we have posted, is it?
So this is what happened with the floor plan. It is 90% ready, but when I sent in the image for them to use, they didn't scale it correctly. So a booth takes up more space on the image than it should. Like, it's 3 times bigger than it's supposed to be. So we have it ready to go, except it's just not scaled accurately right now. So as soon as Brandon has a chance to crawl out from under his mountain of social work, hopefully he can get them straightened out with that, because I haven't had any luck. Other than that, the floor plan is ready to go, and hopefully we can share it with you all really soon, because I would love to start getting a visual on what we're going to be using our meeting rooms for. That's a big one, because photo ops are moving to the ground floor. I want to show you all where the Warren Museum is going to be, where Survive the Night is going to be with Dead Alley. We're going to have 3 spots to do panels this year, which I know Barb is very excited about. Or maybe not, because, you can't be in 3 places at once. Hopefully we won't have too much overlap with the panel schedule. But this is definitely proving to be our biggest, most diverse and event-packed weekend to date. And one of the things you all might have seen, I posted, I was being silly. I posted a picture of a handbook for the recently admitted. And what I would love to do is I would love to try to highlight, this has been a big theme recently in the group. Some people are, they want to see the big names, and that's what they want. Celebrity guests They're great, and that is a big part of the show, but it is not all of the show. There's so much to do. There's so many different activities. Rob does a great job with these prosthetics classes. He does like a beginner's class. He does an advanced class. We've been talking back and forth about some pretty cool things that we could do this year. So, we've got some actual hands-on, he's done like wounds and the celebrity panels, the film fest, speakers, and then trading cards. We did bingo last year, which was a lot of fun. There's so many things that are going on during the show that are, they're really fun. So meeting celebrities is just one part of that, but I would like a way to kind of map out more of the fun things that go on throughout the weekend than just, getting autographs and doing photo ops. So, but those things do keep the lights on. So please still buy the photo ops. we got to eat. So, yeah, let's see. Trying to follow the chat. You all are crazy. Bourbon machine. More Nightmare on Elm Street actors. We've got more coming. There will be more. Let's see. Brandon, West, anything you all want to talk about?
I've pretty well covered all my stuff. I got to tell my celebrity story. I got to indirectly flirt with 2 actresses. We can go ahead and let's go to Bonehead Weekly, and then we'll come back with a few minutes to tidy up. Sure. Everybody, we'll be back in a minute.
Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly, and this week's review is 825 Forest Road. It's a Shudder exclusive. The reason why I say Forest Lane or not ties to the ending, which you can kind of see. It kind of gives you in the third act a little bit, oh, we're not going to go that way, and then they totally go that way. You kind of see where the mystery's lying. Chuck and his family, his wife, who, of course, it's a haunted house movie, she has to suffer from some sort of mental illness so that, people won't believe what she sees, because we've never seen that before. So there's some sort of bipolar thing. And then his younger sister, whom his wife didn't even know about, who moves in with him so they can all go to college and buy this house and work here, also suffers because their mother, they died, she was driving, car accident, yada, yada, yada. Everybody's got mental illness in this family, and they move into a haunted house. I'm crapping on this movie a little too much, actually. It's not bad. It is what I would refer to. If I was 14, 13 years old, this was a TV movie of the week, I would have loved it. I am 106. It's not bad. It's a Shudder exclusive. It's the same guy that directed Hell House LLC or whatever it's called. I've actually never seen that. I'm actually going to go back and watch it because of this. That being said, this movie is just okay. If you have Shudder, you should check it out if you like haunted house movies. There's a couple of really good sequences in this. One in particular takes place, his wife does videos online, and she has all these subscribers. She's doing some sort of making dresses, and you can picture this as a really good sequence. Behind her, the mannequin, maybe it moves, and maybe people are calling and trying to let her know that something's moving behind her, and you're like, oh, that's a screw. That works really well. The demon possessed woman kind of thing, when you finally see it in the face, works really well. And you kind of always say less is more. There's a little too less in this. Actually, I would have liked to have seen more of that, which is probably a good thing that I wanted to see more of that. The third act is not bad. There is an ambiguous ending as far as what happens to them. I think the unfortunate thing for this movie is three things. One, the cliches that I was just talking about, right? You got to get past that. We have cell phones. We have all these things. They're looking for a house called 825 Forest Lane. They do eventually find it, but is that it? Is that not it? There's a club, a gardening club, that's always looking for it. The town has this past of suicides and things and hauntings, and they're all scared of this 825 Forest Lane, if it does or doesn't exist. A little bit of that's cliche, especially when you find it and you realize, man, people in the woods be four-wheeler riding, be ATVs. This would have been found long ago. Okay? That's a little unbelievable. Second, with the characters, all those cliches don't quite work for me. For me, they don't work. The second thing is the acting's not bad. It's very Hallmark. Seen a Hallmark movie? Acting in this. Which leads me into kind of the third thing, which this is a low budget film. I totally get it. I've made some low budget crap too. This isn't crap. This is much better than what I've done, but it kind of does suffer from its low budget. And I know they want to do an ambiguous ending. Does it kind of have a satisfying thing where it makes you think long after? No. I mean, for example, the Gardening Club, it's a secret society looking for 825 Forest Lane, a secret society that has at the library a big thing with those pull tabs of poster of like, oh my God, are you interested in the Gardening Club? And everybody knows about it. There's just little things like that. It's just, why even bother saying it? Why don't you say there's a society looking for this? We hate them. They're ostracized by the town. We don't want them. Every time they do this, it brings back this lady. And you find out about the story of why she's haunting, and her kid may have suffered from something. Any of this sound familiar? Most things in this movie are a little stereotypical. It's told in 4 chapters, 3 or 4 chapters. It's like a prologue, and then each one of the main characters, the sister, the wife, the husband, each has their chapter. And then, of course, the final is wrapping up 825 Forest Lane. It is a Shudder exclusive. I didn't hate it. It was okay. I watched it over 2 or 3 sittings. I just wouldn't highly recommend it. I'd say, 5 or 6. It's a medium movie. If you like haunted house films, there is a couple of really good sequences. I love the makeup when you finally do see the creature, for lack of a better way of putting it, a couple of times. That looks great. I'd love to have seen more of that. I know that's expensive. I know making movies is expensive, but I would love to have seen more of that. This has been Joe Lewis, Bonehead Weekly.
And welcome back. While Joe was doing that, we were discussing behind the scenes about Joe's amateur porn career. Apparently, I didn't know that he'd ever done any independent films. So the someday his estate auction, buy the box of unlabeled VCR tapes. Just so you've got a little piece of history there.
Oh my gosh. One thing that we didn't mention was the voting for Best of Lex. So if you go to votelexington.com, you go to things to do, annual events and festivals, and you can vote for your favorite one. If your favorite is Scarefest weekend, we're on there. So you can vote.
And if it's not, vote for it anyway. Jesus H. Christ.
Vote your conscience.
Vote my conscience.
And
by the way, just to throw a little plug in on that, yes, you can only vote once per day, per browser, per device. I know this because that's the way I did it last year.
Fair. Now through May 9th. So if that is something that you would like to support us on, you can vote votelexington.com for that.
Yes, you can do it on Google Chrome. Then you can go to what the hell's the internet called? Internet
Safari?
Explorer now.
Safari?
No, well, Safari too. Yeah, that's another one. But that's a Mac thing. Now, the one that comes built into Windows now. Edge.
Yeah.
I should remember that.
Well, how can you forget that one of all of them?
Yeah, Wes.
So,
and to answer a couple questions from the chat, I am still working on Killers on the Rocks. Not ready to announce it just yet, but it is in the works. And any info on the special Friday night after hour Warren Museum? No, not yet.
No, that's early in the planning stages, the after hours thing.
We are still working on that. We're not sure if it's going to be celebrity hosted yet or not. We still need to work with him on that. And we may do one on Friday night and Saturday because I have a feeling we're going to sell out of that event very quickly. So when we are ready to announce it, we'll give you guys notice before the tickets go on sale because they're probably going to go pretty quick. They're probably going to be a little pricey because, let's face it, I don't know how often we're going to have a chance to do a paranormal investigation with these objects. So it may be priced accordingly. So just keep that in mind. Oh man, we've got, obviously, we're going to be doing some of our staple events. We'll be doing the horror trivia on Thursday. We're going to be doing Scarioke on Friday. We'll have the free events as well as the ticketed ones. And then we are looking at planning a paranormal investigation offsite as well. That is still in the works. And working on some special event items this year, some special collaborations, some new t-shirts, pens, new posters, all of that fun stuff. What else? What else are we working on?
Oh, did Beatrice say anything about doing yoga this year?
I haven't talked to her about it yet, but I'm going to make sure I put it high up on my list now that I know how you feel.
That was one of my favorite graphics, too. I found a skeleton in a yoga pose.
Yeah, see?
You could have just had Wes do that.
That wasn't easy to find.
So, yeah, there are so many things to do. I feel like I get so excited to talk to you all about everything, and then we get here, and I should write it down better, I guess, because then I'm like, what am I supposed to talk about? We'll be announcing a lot of stuff over the next couple of months, so make sure to stay plugged in and catch us first Friday of every month doing the council episode.
And,
and I suck at keeping secrets, so like I try to be quiet like as much as I can.
I want to get a plug in here for FrankenCon next weekend.
Yes,
because we're going to be there. We're going to be going. That's something we were going to talk about as soon as we hang up on you people. FrankenCon, Knoxville Airport, which is like what's its name? Alcoa, Tennessee. Because well, I can't make fun of them. We have the Greater Cincinnati Airport in Kentucky, so
sure, exactly. But yeah, we'll be getting down there early. I think I'm going down Thursday. Wes, are you going Thursday or are you coming down Friday morning?
That's what I got to talk to Brandon about. It's whether I'm riding with him and whether or not.
Brandon, well, yeah, we'll talk about it after the show.
So good luck. I don't know at this point.
Yeah. Brandon's dance card is full. But I don't know when I'm heading down there. But yeah, we can talk about that.
Sounds like I'll be driving down Thursday then.
Yeah. So, but that's fine because we got plenty of people to hang out with and see. So if you're going to be in the area, or if you're not and you want to drive to the area specifically to come and hang out with us, that would be awesome. So yeah, FrankenCon in Knoxville, Tennessee at the airport, Hilton Airport in Alcoa.
And Friday night, Scarefest TV won't be on, but we will do a live from someplace in the hotel.
Yeah. I feel like I always find where they are doing their live, and I run in and photobomb them in the back. I'm just like, so got to keep tradition alive.
I don't remember that. Anyway, okay.
Well, last year we were doing it. Was it last year that people kept taking the camera? We had Felissa was there, and was it Tom Matthews? Who all was down there? And they kept people kept passing your phone down the table. Was that last year?
Yeah, no, Tom was last.
Alcohol involved.
It must have been.
Yeah, there was definitely alcohol involved. I don't remember if it was last year or not. I feel like it was the year.
Oh no, that was 2 years ago, I think.
It might have been.
We ate dinner and.
Yes, and we were all sitting in the back.
Yeah.
I thought 2 years ago was when you were at home and Richard and Corey were sitting in the vendor hall and it was closed.
No, I was three. I think that was 3 years ago.
All right.
2 years ago was when I ordered my hamburger, and when I got it, the lights went out.
Yes, as soon as his hamburger.
We're going to check on it again this year, Brandon. We will check on the hamburger.
Does anybody have any last minute questions before we jump off?
I'm not seeing anything in the chat room. So everybody, we're going to sign off, and then we're going to make plans for FrankenCon. Don't forget, votelexington.com. Votelexington.com. Submit your ballot for Scarefest weekend, your favorite annual event or festival. So everybody, see you next week.
Have a good night.